everybody, to another episode of I Am That Bitch podcast with our new segment with Roula GK, Double Trouble Tales by two Greek girls, Massey. We're going through our lives of growing up in a Greek and Macedonian household and the comparisons and stuff. Hi, babe.
Hey, lady, how are you?
Good. Welcome back, bitch.
Thank you. The sun is shining today. I'm a happy girl.
Yes, it's good. It's so good. So
God is good. God is
God
good.
is
I am
great.
excited about today's episode. I am so excited. You have no idea, because this was a deal. This is a deal breaker for me. This was like a non-negotiable.
Okay, so this episode is about marrying Greek and no other choice. You married a Greek boy. I marry a nice Greek boy. Both of them very nice.
Very nice, very good.
Very good. Very good boys. Very nice, hardworking boys. So
Yes.
was it a requirement? So it was a personal requirement that you wanted to marry your own culture, but was it a requirement from your parents?
No, listen, I always joke around and say I could have been married at 20, well, probably not 20, 25, had 3 kids and been divorced before I was 35. Because I was not the same I got married, in my 30s. I was not the same person then that I was in my 20s. I lived my life. I traveled. I enjoyed my life. And then I met my husband and was ready to settle down. I think my parents they never verbally said you must marry a Greek. But I think they knew I wanted to marry a Greek. So for me, being Greek was so important. I knew I wanted to have Greek babies. I know that sounds crazy. My kid was going to go to Greek school regardless. My kid was going to grow up Orthodox regardless. So it made it easier to marry a Greek, quite honestly, because I didn't need to teach them all the things and have them, have to learn what Orthodoxy is about. And, we had that in common, even though my husband's Greek school experience was different than mine. At least he went to Greek school and knew the trials and tribulations of it all.
Yeah, well, my parents, it wasn't a requirement. And I'll have to be honest, everybody on my mom's side married Xeni.
Yep.
All of them married Xeni. One married an Italian. That didn't last long. And then I'm the only one that really married. Oh, no, the other one was Croatian, I think. And now there's 30 of us, like like first cousins and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm the one that married a Greek, right? But it wasn't a requirement for my parents. They just wanted me married by the time I was fucking 30. Like, hey,
let's go.
Come on, let's go. Oh, shit. I think I just started my car.
Oh, my God. Oops.
No, it's not. It's okay. But no, but the only requirement for me, and it was from my brothers, my one brother, that was a bad boy. Don't bring home a fucking cop.
That was interesting.
Nothing else mattered. Just don't bring
interesting.
Home yeah.
So my personal requirements were over 6 feet tall, less than 10 letters in their last name, and they had to be Greek.
My requirement was breathing.
Stop it! Stop it! You are so bad.
No,
I love
it. I got set up with Tony. Actually, I went to Greek church. It was my dad. I think it was my 4-year like
memorial. Yeah,
memorial.
Yep.
And I was sitting at church, and I was literally at I was really in a dark place at that time. Like I had a lot of things going on, and I was just praying, saying, God, I literally, my prayer was, I just want somebody that loves me for me. And that was it. I said, I didn't care, money we can make together. I'm not a gold digger or anything like that. Like I just wanted somebody that treated me nice and loved me.
And you got that. He is the best.
Yeah. A very nice Greek boy.
Very nice Greek boy.
I have to tell you the story about how we met, though. Do you know the story even?
I don't think I do.
So I was at church with my mom, and we come home, and I would always joke with my mom, did you find me a husband yet, when she came home from church when I didn't go, right? So she comes home one day, and I go, hey, Ma, you find me a husband? She's like, I think maybe today I did. And I said, what? And she goes, I give your number to this man. And I said, to an old man? Like, I'm not going to be. She goes, no, Budala. Like, Kazi, right?
Yeah.
She goes, no, he knows us. She goes, so, what was his name? We called him Kritikos because we're Greek, right? and he had like the big mustache, like typical Cretan, right?
Yeah.
That's Crete, right? The
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
mustache. And he goes, Ella, I can't say it, Macedona, Ella though. He would say to my mom. He goes, in Greek, because my mom speaks Greek fluently. And he's like, I see your daughter. She's very pretty. I know this boy. He's a very nice boy, right? So she's like, here's her number. Tell him
Done.
to call, right? So eventually, Tony did call, right? But first, the old guy called me. What was his name? I'll have to ask Tony. I don't know if he's here. But he calls me and I'm at work and I go, hello. And he's like, hello. Oh, I know Steve. His name is, hello, my name is Steve. And he says his last name. I know this boy. He's a very nice boy. He's very family. Yeah, he has 3 houses.
4 goats and 2 chickens.
Right? He's a very nice boy, very hardworking. He has a donut shop in Ajax. Me, your mother, me, my wife, and you, we go to the donut shop for coffee. And I'm like, I don't think I'm comfortable with that with you guys there. Like, why don't you just give him my number and then we can go for coffee? So I called my mom and I said, Mom, this fucking guy wants the 4 of us. Like, I needed to be chaperone.
Like you're having a double date and a
Right? I go
chaperone.
call the guy and tell him I'm not doing that. She goes, I'm not calling him back. I said, listen, lady, you need to finish what you started. So I talked to my mom. She's like, okay, I'm embarrassed, but I'm going to call back. So she calls and he's like, do I have your permission to give her number to the boy? He was he was very militant,
Yep.
very strict father.
Oh.
Like later on, once we knew him, right? Well, I knew him, but he was kumbadi to Tony.
Okay.
And they only met at the donor shop. He was a truck driver, and that's how they all met. They became friends, right?
Wow.
So Tony eventually called me, and I was literally right in front of the coffee shop driving on Highway 2, not realize I did realize that was the coffee shop. And he's like, do you want to go for coffee? I said, sure. He goes, well, we got nothing to lose, right? And I'm like, yeah, let's go. So Just Desserts. We went to Just Desserts in Pickering when it existed. And that was it. C'est la vie. That's how me and Tony met.
I love it. I love
And
it.
I don't know if you guys have I don't know if it's a Macedonian culture or Northern culture. Whoever sets you up, if you get married, you gift them shoes. Do you have
No, I've
that?
not heard that. No, I like that though.
Yeah, so you gift them shoes.
Oh.
But we gave him a shoe box with a gift card in it. And you're going to have to translate in Greek the way he said it because I don't know how to say it, but I understand it. But he knew it was light. And he goes, they're embarrassing me. What do they think? I'm stupid. There's no shoes in here. And
Oh.
his wife says, you idiot. It's a gift card. How do they know what your shoe size is?
Size is.
Right? He goes, me, how do you say they're embarrassing me?
Embarrassment is metropalos is I'm embarrassed or
No, but they're embarrassing me.
Oh.
Come on, Greek. Fuck.
I know, man. My Greek school, it's been a while. It's been about 40 years.
Then drepeses.
Now I'm going to be thinking of that. You guys, I really did go to Greek school. I really did.
Come on.
Mekana nerezili.
No.
That's how we would say it. Like they embarrassed me as mekana nerezili.
Or how about making a fool of me? I'm literally going to get up from this chair and go fucking ask Tony.
Oh, yeah, you asked Tony. I would say mekana nerezili because that's how they say it.
What it is. So that's he was just a special kind of guy. That's how me and Tony met. But I'm the luckiest girl alive, obviously. You know that. I love
second luckiest. I'm pretty lucky.
lucky. We're lucky. We are lucky girls.
We are. I have to say, for a lot of Greeks get shit when they marry Greeks. I have to be.
That's why I never wanted to marry my own kind.
A lot of Greek females do not want to marry Greek males because a lot of Greek males come across as chauvinistic, as mama boys, as whatever. And so it is, I always say to my mother-in-law, thank you so much for raising him well. My husband could do his own laundry. My husband cooks because he loves to cook. I cook because we need to survive. My husband, there are things that just, he could do that a lot of other guys that I knew, nothing against my friends. It was just, he was brought up differently.
Yeah.
And I think that also plays a role as you grow as a couple, right?
Yeah.
Like we have similar like at the core, our values are the same. And I guess that's where I was going with wanting to marry Greek because in the, when it push comes to shove, we're we're the same, right? As opposed to trying to, I never wanted to change someone. I never wanted to have to drag someone along. I'm very strong, as you are, strong willed,
Yeah.
strong minded. And I had certain ideas of how my life would be with a partner,
Yeah.
and with a family. And that wasn't changing regardless of who the person was. Um,
Yeah, I get that. I totally do. Like, I also thanked my mother-in-law. She raised Tony in a way. So my mother-in-law and my father-in-law didn't have the greatest marriage. So she would always say, "This is how you're supposed to treat your wife." And, I do the cooking. Tony will help me clean. He does better cleaning, let's be honest. He doesn't like my cleaning. Right? But he really takes care of me. But I take care of him. I do the laundry. I do all the cooking. I do all like the business paperwork and stuff like that. So he'll help me vacuum
yeah,
and put the dishes away out of the dishwasher. Like it's a team effort, right? And
I,
I didn't see my brothers doing that, and I didn't. My eldest brother that passed away, he was a chef and he was an excellent chef. But God help us when he cooked in the house. It was like I'm like, you don't have a fucking sous chef here, and every pot, every
tornado.
utensil,
Yeah,
tornado, and
yeah,
then he'd go sit down.
yeah,
I'd be like, you're not fucking cooking in the house anymore.
yeah.
That's
His
it.
job was done. Yeah, right.
Yeah. So it just, I didn't, I thought I was always going to marry Xenos, right? Because that's what I was around or whatever. And then I was the luckiest girl. I'm
Hmm.
glad Steve saw me in church that day.
I
It's meant to
know,
be.
huh? Isn't it crazy? Crazy
Yeah.
how like your paths are, I believe your paths are meant to meet. Like
Meant
it,
to
it
be.
it truly is, right? Like it's one of those. And did you know right away? Like I knew right away. I was like, this is the man I'm going to marry.
Okay. So here's the story. So we met for coffee at Just Desserts. We get there and I pull over. I call my friend at the time. I'm like, I don't want to go. What am I fucking doing? And she's like, what do you got to lose? It's just coffee. I really got like huge anxiety. So I obviously go, thank God. I pull up, I go sit down, and the waitress is looking at us. Like she looks at me and then looks at Tony and then like does a double take. And I was like, oh, well, that's odd. So she takes our order, whatever. And then later on, as we started dating, he told me I was number 4 that week, that he took out for
No.
coffee. Everybody, well, Tony was in the coffee shop and he's like, I want to get married. Like, I want a family.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I got to put myself out there. So he put himself out there and everybody was trying to set him up.
Oh.
Right. So, I won, bitches.
I love it. I love it. That's so funny.
Because he called me the very night. That was a Thursday. He called me
Yep.
on Friday and he took me to a hockey game on Saturday.
Uh-huh.
Now, he had tickets because he had great customers. We were sitting 4 rows away from the ice in Platinum. So when we were going there, he's like, we'll take the GO train. I'm like, no, we won't. Like,
Yeah.
he's like,
No.
well, because he sucks at driving, right? And I didn't know that at the time, obviously. He's like, well, there's nowhere to park. And I'm like, those great big green peace signs? That's where we park. So, anyways, I drive and he's like, just park here. Cause he told me we're going to a restaurant that if you had a jersey, wear a Leaf jersey, you get entered to win a television. I'm like,
Okay.
but I don't have a jersey, right? But okay, let's go.
Yeah.
But he wasn't taking me to a bar. He was taking me to the game. So we're rushing because we're kind of late.
Oh.
We parked a little far because we jumped into a cab to get to Air Canada Center. So we go and I slip and I fall. And it was all marble, right? The whole lobby went, oh, because you heard my smack. Like my hand landed like this and I
Oh.
cracked, right? So I started laughing and he turned around. He literally put his hand out and said, I'm sorry. And I said, you could laugh if you want to. He goes, no, he won't laugh to this day. He says, had I not rushed you, you wouldn't have fallen. And
Oh.
he put his hand out, I knew that was my husband. I knew it was it. It was done. Right. And that's our love
I
story.
love it.
As I
Oh.
sit there with a broken wrist
I know.
and I see Darcy Tucker, I'm like, Darcy Tucker, oh,
I know. I was
look
gonna
at
say you have to finish the
oh.
story because you really were hurt. I
I was
remember you
really hurt.
telling
I
me
had
you
to,
were
I
really
had to get,
hurt.
yeah, I was really hurt. And I'm
That's
like, ooh, this is gonna hurt. I went to work the next day, and all my friends that were Asian, they're trying to do like Asian massages and stuff on that. And they're like, we think it's broken, but it wasn't. It was sprained or I cracked it. So I had. I was sitting there. 48 hours later, I go to the doctor.
typical Val. It's okay. What we do
Whatever.
for love, right?
And they're like, everybody at work is like, hi, you're falling for him, legit. And I'm like,
Oh,
whatever.
Jesus
And I
Christ.
did. I fell hard for him. Thank God.
Oh, so sweet.
That's our love story.
How okay, one of the things with Greek is, being accepted by the my big fat Greek family. I
You're
remember the
accepted. You've been accepted greatly in your family.
yeah, and I remember the first time meeting my in-laws. I remember I brought my mother-in-law a gift, and I don't remember what it was. I know, sorry if she won't be watching, but anyway, I know I brought her something because I remember going with the bag, and I brought flowers. I don't know why. I just thought like I needed because
That's nice.
I was going to her house. She was cooking, so for like lunch or something. And I remember that. And I remember how cool she was because my mom always said I should marry an orphan because I would not get along with a mother-in-law because I am that strong-willed and just
Yeah.
not gonna. I don't put up with shit like And again, I've also grown up a lot. There's a lot of stuff I wouldn't have that now I let slide because I'm hitting
Not worth
almost
it.
50. That isn't
Yeah.
worth my aggravation.
No.
Where at 30, I would have pounced on you for. Now I'm like, yeah, whatever. So like, even if I see some friends now, they're like, "What happened to you?" And I'm like, I've been through so much in my life. That's just not important enough to waste energy on.
I got
So
along with my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law.
it's
My
okay.
I did get along with my mother-in-law. She actually loved me. She would say about me and Tony, the pot found its lid. How do you say that in Greek?
Oh, that's so
Right? And
sweet.
my mother and my in-laws spoke Macedonian too, right? They're from the north. But they raised the family Greek, where my family, and they would speak secret Macedonian, where my parents were opposite. Raised as Macedonian, spoke secret Greek.
Did your parents get along with your in-laws?
Well, my dad never met them. My dad,
Okay.
I think they went to the coffee shop once. Tony
Okay.
said he remembers my dad. They went a few times. They talked to his father.
Mm-hmm.
But my dad would have kicked the shit out of Tony's dad. My father-in-law was not a father-in-law didn't like me. He would say some really nasty things. If I had told my dad, he would have just fucking smashed him for sure. My mother-in-law, on the other hand, loved me. We had like they give you like when you get married, you either get the
Yeah, the
coin
gold. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They
gold.
shower you in gold. Yeah.
Well, when they went to Greece when they were younger, she bought a bracelet for Tony's future bride, right? So
Oh.
she had given me that bracelet, which I still have. And my mom said to me in Macedonian, she said, "Oh, Vula, now that your mother-in-law gave you that bracelet, you have to listen to her, right?" So I turned to my mother-in-law. I go, "Ma, did you hear what my mother said? Now that you gave me this bracelet, you have to listen to everything I say." And she's like, "This, sure, no problem.
Yeah, and
No problem." Like,
you
I
make
just
my son happy. It's okay. It's okay.
my mother-in-law was so amazing. So what mother-in-law would do this? So Rula, you know how picky I am of an eater,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like I am like a munja cake eater,
Yeah.
Xenos. Okay. She would make like all this stuff with peppers. I'm allergic to peppers, so peppers, um, eggplant, just shit that I wouldn't eat. She would literally make me a separate meal
Mm,
just cause like spaghetti with feta and butter, like just,
love.
like
That's love.
just
Yeah.
that's what she did for us. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And you get along with Frank's brothers really good too, or brother
Yeah, his
and
brother
cousins.
and his cousins. Yeah, I get along with most of the. Yeah, most of. I mean, I'm a tough person, right? Like I admit
Me
that,
too.
but we do get along. I have to say, I'm the only Greek wife. So that was different because everybody else married a Xeni. So that was interesting. But I think at the end of the day, we all love our husbands, and we love that they love each other. And I think that's what's important. I mean, these boys have been in business together for
Long time.
50, 40, whatever years.
Yeah.
So there's nobody's coming in and breaking that bond up. And not that anybody is trying to, but nothing's breaking that
It can
bond.
happen, right? But they
Uh,
don't allow it, and I love
right.
that.
And
Yeah,
that's huge, right?
yeah. I do get along with one of my sister-in-laws. The other one, we just don't see eye to eye, and that's okay. I wish her well. You know what I mean? Like I don't hate her by any means, and I've said that to whoever will talk, like whoever talks to me or asks me.
Yep.
I do wish her happiness, and that's truly from the heart. But I don't have any hatred. We just don't get along.
And that's okay. I think as long as, listen, sibling relationships are so different. And I think that when you add a partner in the mix, like you may have the best relationship with your sibling, or you may not have a great relationship with your sibling. Adding a third person in that hasn't lived that sibling dynamic,
Yeah.
um, isn't always the easiest, right? And I think that's where it's hard. And sometimes that person only hears one side. Chances are they only hear one side of the story, right?
Well,
Or no,
I got
or make their own decisions on what. I'm not talking about your specific case,
no,
but
no, no, but it
uh,
triggered something for me that I want to say.
yeah.
But finish what you were saying.
No. I was gonna say it makes it for a tough situation at times.
So, and you know the story, right? So, Tony's uncle had come to see my mother-in-law when she was dying, and sorry, my dog's barking. It is what it is. We're at
Okay.
home, and we totally got along with him. My mom like made did the table. How do you say it in Greek?
You strosi the
Like
table?
you catered him. You made the table.
Like she fed him?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm
like
trying to
any,
understand.
but there's like I guess we speak different Greek than you. I don't know.
We're
But
Southerners, man.
anyway,
I don't know.
so I got along with him. Like he's like, oh, he would tell everybody, oh, Tony's wife is like sweet as honey, and like praise me, right? And then I unfortunately my sister-in-law went to Greece and told her side of whatever story. And my uncle had called my husband, said some stuff about my mother and I. And my amazing husband said, Theo, I'm sorry, but there's two sides to the story. I can't believe you're saying this. When my mother-in-law opened up her door and catered to you and everything, whatever, and he said to me and hung up, right? So we went to Greece in October, and I was so nervous to go see his family because of this. Like I thought, oh, they probably hate me because they've only heard one side of the story. We were there on our honeymoon. That's the last time that I saw his cousins, and this was now 20 years later, right? And I was so nervous. I was begging my cousin Vula, because we have the same name. I'm like, Vula, please come with me. I don't want to go by myself. Oh my God, I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous. Well, didn't they welcome me with open arms?
Right.
And it was, I even thank them for being so kind to me and embracing me. They were so amazing. Like I actually miss them. Like I want to go back and just spend more time with them. Like we had a great time. They live in I can't Tola Maida. But yeah, no, like they were so amazing that I thought I was going to be treated one way, and they weren't. And they said, we see the family loves you. We
Yeah.
know what kind of person you are. We see you online, so they'll probably watch this. Mwah, love you guys.
I love
Yeah.
that. I love that. And I think it's amazing how two two of us so different could
Hmm.
marry two guys that at the end of the day might be kind of similar. Like they're
Very similar.
quiet, hardworking, and I
And
mean
we're
it's just yeah, and we're like, let's go.
yeah,
But I guess opposites attract in that respect.
that's right.
But it's
Yeah.
just, I thank my lucky stars every day and say, I really am so, so lucky. I mean, our husbands both are two of the hardest workers I know. I don't know anybody else that works as hard as these guys did and do, to be able to care for us and our families. And I'm just grateful every day.
I am. I the same what ditto what she said. Everybody knows how I feel about Tony, and I see how Frank treats you guys, and he's a good man. We've got really really good men. They actually
I
went
know.
out. They actually had a beer on Thursday, which warms my heart. You know, they both need it. They need that social. I know Frank socializes, but it's work for him too.
Yep.
But he said we need to go out for dinner. And Tony's like, well, call my people. Tell
Yeah.
my people, call my people.
All
We're
right.
each
We're
other's
gonna
people.
get
We got to
dinner
make
on
it
the books.
happen.
That's it. You heard it. Now it's online. Now people
Yeah.
know, so we gotta make it happen.
So Frank, make it fucking happen.
So we were lucky in finding our big fat Greek wedding
Husbands.
men, if you will,
How many people were at
husbands.
your wedding, actually? Let's do that before we go.
I had a very small wedding, 137 people.
My shower was bigger than that.
If I got married in Boston, I would have had 400, but we got married here.
Yeah. I had 180 women at my shower. I did a Mother's Day brunch at Deer Creek. It was beautiful. And then my wedding was like just over 400. But
Yeah,
Tony has a very small family. So Tony had literally 3 or 4 tables. The rest were mine.
all yours. Yeah. Yeah, we got married here because I remember having a conversation with my parents, and my dad was like, that's where your life is going to be. Why would you have a wedding here when this is not that, you're, but that chapter was closing and this was just starting. So why wouldn't I do it here? And I thought of that and I was like, my dad has such a valid point of
Yeah.
this is where my life is going to be. This is the church we're going to be going to. I know we're going to do a whole church episode, but it kind of made sense. So we had a small wedding, in Greek style, like Greek
Yeah.
numbers, right? Because
Yeah.
most
Yeah.
are people. But I wouldn't have changed anything for the world. I remember I have one picture. I'll leave you with this, since it has to do with both of us. But we wanted good food,
Yeah.
and we wanted a party. We wanted people to remember the food and a good time.
Yeah.
And I have a picture. Frank and I are doing as a Bekiko, and literally every single person is in a circle around. I have the chills just talking about it, around us, clapping while we do the Zebekiko. And a friend of ours, Colin, took that picture. It was actually a candid. And I remember, oh my gosh, once I saw that picture, I was like, I'm like, this is what I wanted. This is perfection. This was what we wanted. The love of everybody who was there that day to surround us. And it really did in that photo.
Yeah. I wanted a party too. I said, and well, we'll end it here, but we had 400 people and we knew everybody that was there. I did anyway. And I said to the guy at the hall, I didn't do traditional, like you go to church, get pictures, and then go to the hall. We did our pictures first, went to the hall, went to church and went to the hall. Cause Tony and I did have a city hall wedding the year before because his mom was passing away. So we were already married. And this was
Mm-hmm.
already booked. So we had to go through with it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm grateful that I did. But I said, I just want it to be a party. I said to the DJ, everybody's got to be on the floor by 9 o'clock. And I said to the hall, like, you got to serve, everything's got to be done. And he's like, when I said I'm going to be here at 4 o'clock, no, 4 o'clock was the church. I said, we'll be there 5:30, right? It was St. Dee's to Spirales, like
Yeah.
Donovan's next. And he's like, everybody's late. I said, I won't be late. I'm telling you, Peter, I won't be late. I'm never fucking late. Sure enough, he's like, he comes running up to us. I need 15 minutes. The antipasto bar is not done. I said, that's fine. I said, start serving shit outside, right? But anyway, by 9 o'clock, everybody was dancing. We had 80-year-olds on the chairs, the DJs, 80-year-olds doing with the napkin, like
I
doing
love it.
like I have to show you my video. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah. I love it.
Yeah, that's what we wanted. And that's what it was. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. Anyway, thank you, my friend.
Thank you. I love
Stay.
talking to you and
I
obviously
know.
talking
Of
about our
course you fucking do.
fabulous men.
All right. So stay tuned to the next episode. Thank you for tuning in to Double Trouble Tales. Two great girls. And we've got more episodes coming. So we'll see you there.
Bye, everybody.